Good morning, Florida Panther fans. I can hear that the mic is too hot. So that sucked. And I hope that last night's game was not a map to the season, which is start off like ass, come all the way back and make us think they're gonna do it, then look like they're gonna blow it, then look like they're gonna come back, and then do the thing at the end of the game that I can't stand and blow it anyway. I hope that's not how the season's fixing to go, but boy, it sure smells like it, doesn't it, Stu?
Smells like teen spirit. Well, listen, I said it in the last video. Colorado got totally thumped by the Lightning.
Yeah.
5-0. They were going to come in here like gangbusters because you don't get embarrassed like that being the Stanley Cup champs. And what happened? 10 seconds in the game, my son says to me, Dad, we're in for a long night. These guys are flying.
Yep.
So we go down 2-0. Then I was ready to give him the first star of the night because Ryan Lomberg sacrificed himself fighting a guy that was 6'5",
I know.
outweighed him by 40 pounds, and he held his own.
Yeah.
And everybody in the arena went nuts. The bench went nuts. And what happens? We scored 2 goals and tie it up. I think Bennett probably scored not long after those guys went in the box. And then what happens? Nathan McKinnon, Panther killer. 30 seconds after we tie the game, they score.
Yep.
Game over. That broke our backs. And I don't care. We came back and whatnot. I just had a feeling that's it, man. So then they go up 4-2, and of course we get a late goal, and everybody knows what happened at the end. So
Right.
we did it to ourselves.
Oh, no doubt.
We didn't play in like we played the night, the game before, and it's all consistency, and it's working hard from the opening whistle. And you know what? As you say, we looked like ass. The first period was like. So that's all I have to say.
It's flipped on its head because for 3/4 of the season we came out flying, and what the problem we had was we couldn't get the second goal. We'd come out, dominate, get 1-0 lead, and then blow it in the second period. But we were coming out on fire, and now we've gone backwards, and now we're just.
Well, I have a few shout outs today.
Yeah.
So the first one is my old friend Adam, who posted this on Twitter. I mean, the Panthers didn't deserve to win this game despite the win-o-meter going slightly in their favor. You're not going to win many of them, giving up 49 shots, 0 for 4 on the power play, and allowing a shorthanded and power play goal to the opposition. I couldn't have said it better. All right, so you want to hear the stories?
Well, yeah, that first power play, so bad. We're desperately. I mean, we're. I don't know where this is coming from all of a sudden. I mean, the over, not just the overpassing, but it's cross-ice passes and like trying these home run 2-line passes. I don't understand what the hell is going on. I hope they're not being coached to do that because in the last 2 games, we got away with it against the Sharks, but we are trying a lot of ill-advised cross-ice passes. There was a 2-on-1 last night. I forget who it was, but there was a 2-on-1, and instead of taking the shot,
exactly. My son pointed that out to me as well. But on the power play, there's many opportunities for a guy to shoot, and he's looking for a better opportunity. Right. That's no good. Right. Shoot.
True.
You got somebody in front. It goes off the goalie's pads or whatever, and somebody's there to bury it.
Right. So all right, go ahead and tell your.
So anyway, of course, I want to say thank you to Dana.
Yes.
And
Dana gave him the tickets to go.
Where the seats are, they're at the Panther defend twice side. So obviously I got good views on the first couple of goals. And that shorty, there's so many times I see the play and I know what's going to happen. I just feel it.
Yep.
But I want to, again, give props to Nathan McKinnon because that guy is like the road runner. He's like McDavid. I mean, he's so fast and he's so smart with what he does. Like Kucherov, like all the great players.
Right.
They just know what to do when they have it.
Right.
So anyway, so we parked our car at Sawgrass and, we're walking across the street. And I'm talking to my son, and these two guys behind us, like, stopped me and said, "Hey, Stu, I watch your podcast. I love it." So shout out to Colin and Robert.
Yeah.
Here's a picture of them.
Yeah.
Supporters of the channel.
And there's the right one. Yeah, that's the right one. That's not the ladies. There we go.
So there you guys go, man. You guys are famous now.
There you go.
So anyway, so that was pretty cool.
Oh, there we go. We got a real close up now. Here we go. Come on, computer. All right, I'll stop sharing it.
All right.
Let me get it.
So should I tell the other story now, or should we save it for a little bit later?
We'll save that for a few minutes down the road. Let me get it set up.
All right. So just, you got the floor. Tell me, your assessment. Just break it down. Break it down with players and stuff.
Well, first off, I'm gonna take blame. I'm gonna take blame for last night because I didn't say it. I didn't say it out loud, but I was thinking it. I was thinking, we're going to get down here because, remember I did the breakdown of the 20 games at a time and then 22. And I was thinking we might be sniffing getting close in this last 20 to what I said was going to happen. It might could happen because somebody asked me last night if the Panthers get into the playoffs, are they dangerous? I'm like, yeah, because we got to go like 28-2 in the last 30 games to get in. So you're damn right we'd be dangerous if we play at that clip. But something wasn't right last night. I don't know if these guys, it would be stupid to say that they were tired, but I saw Tierney standing still. Stahl looked kind of slow. Verhaeghe was doing a lot of standing still. Tkachuk, I watched him in the third period when I was expecting him to turn it on, and I think Tkachuk might be a little bit dinged a little bit because I watched him from a standing position try to take off a couple of times, and he seemed to be laboring just a little bit. So, and he's been quiet for 2 games. He was playing like a bat out of hell, and all of a sudden now he's gotten really, really quiet. My opinion is he's nursing something, and they're keeping it quiet. Because I watched,
which wouldn't surprise me because if you notice Tkachuk. And I'll go back to the 70s. There was a guy by the name of Phil Esposito that played for the Bruins. Other players too, but Phil Esposito's spot was right in front of the net. And, back in the day, there were no helmets and whatever, and players got away with a lot of stuff. But you got to realize Tkachuk being in front, he's a target. Right. Cross checks, slashes.
Yeah.
All sorts of stuff happened to him, and he's willing to take the punishment for the good of the team. So it's only natural to think maybe a cross check to the back, it's not pleasant.
Right. No.
And these guys are so tough. They play through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
and the players have just gotten so big too. Bob played okay. He wasn't completely on last night, and you know that because at least 3 times the shooter hit him right in the belly, and instead of swallowing it, it hit him and it dropped, and he was kind of he wasn't Vezina Bob last night. We just put it that. I'm not blaming him.
Nope.
But I think it was just a situation where everybody was just a little bit off. Forsling still laying down blocking shots. Poor Montour missed by like a quarter of an inch twice there in the third period. And we need to see more of them. They're giving Montour the shots. And the same thing was happening on the power play where, they're trying to force the puck a little bit too much. They're trying to force it to Ekblad, and he's got a man on him. if you're on the power play and it's 5-on-4 and Ekblad's got a man on him, does somebody open and it ain't
Yep.
Ekblad, but just by the numbers, you know what I mean? Pass it somewhere else. You're going to use him as a decoy, use him as a decoy. But we're making too many cross-ice passes. They're getting sticks on pucks. And I've been screaming about that since the first Tampa series 2 years ago, which that seems to
Listen,
be.
my son pointed something out that I pointed something out. I don't like that Kachuk behind the net thing. I just don't like that. But you're right. And obviously teams look at video. They know that they're looking for Ekblad and the one-timer, just like we and other teams look to cover Stamkos and Ovechkin.
Right.
Because
right.
we know that shot's deadly from that spot.
Right.
I'd much rather see the other side and Barkov with his wrist shot. Just, take a few strides into center ice and let it go and shoot it low against the goalie's pads or something.
Yeah.
Anyway,
and
the other 4, man.
Right. Well, yeah, and it's weird because I don't know if you never know, right? We don't know what the coaches are telling them, but something's weird with the power play, man. They've been like playing like almost like a rotation, like all of a sudden Kachuk will be behind the net, and then the next time around he's in the circle. And there's been a couple of times when he's actually gotten the puck up near the blue line, and it's almost like they're playing like musical chairs. We're just like as they want to keep moving the puck, and they're just like each man is just going to different spots, except for Ekblad. Ekblad's just kind of been staying in his spot. But look, Montour's getting shots through, and the thing of it is like last night. Okay, the night before, San Jose. Reinhart comes in and I'm screaming, shoot! And he stops and the defenseman backs off and he scores, right? Same exact thing happened last night, except he passed the puck. And I'm just screaming. I'm like, what? Didn't you just do this last game? What are you doing? They're giving you the shot. And just frustrating. It's just frustrating because
Very
like I
frustrating.
said last night.
Listen, I'm going to mention something that I don't think it had. I mean, I don't know. You guys tell me if you thought it really changed the game, but I think we had that same referee that was in Toronto.
No. This was Luxmore. They don't like us either.
Okay.
Luxmore is like he's the Panther guy. The other guy is the Maurice guy.
Okay.
Luxmore
So somebody mentioned about the McKinnon trip, that McKinnon took a dive. I mean, we always get called for embellishment.
Right.
I don't know how many times that's happened to us where it was bullshit. And, whether it be high sticks or whatever. But there's been a few instances where these players have been, milking it and getting the calls and don't get called for embellishment. So, anyway.
McKinnon, Stamkos, those guys, if it's questionable and they go flying, they're just going to get the call.
And again, you got to know McKinnon, McDavid, Kucherov is not Ryan Lundberg, or no slight on Ryan Lundberg, but those guys are gonna get the calls.
Right. So
anyway, you think it's time for more sponsors?
I'm getting there. I'm getting there. Just there's a natural
obviously this was a good one, guys.
Speaking of getting calls, Stu pulled a couple numbers, I think. I think that's the story we got here.
What?
Stu pulled a number at the game last night. So I'm gonna let Stu tell the story. But before you tell the story, I'm gonna show the picture. All right? Because that way, just let me show the picture. Stu was at the game last night, and I'm sitting there, middle of the game. And he sends me this. Look at that shit.
So let me set the table. So that's Rachel on the left and Marsha on the right. And I think they were with their husbands. I think Rachel, Greg, whatever.
Look at Stu's like, I think they were with their husbands or whatever.
Yeah, right. So check this out. I'm watching the game.
All right.
And Rachel, I know you're watching. I don't want to embarrass you, but Rachel's doing a word game. I don't know what it's called because I don't play it.
Was that Words with Friends or is she doing Wordle?
Wordle, yeah. She can't figure out what the word is. And of course, my son's a freaking genius. So she asks him, and I'm like, why aren't you watching the game? Anyway, so I'm telling her about the podcast and Flying Fluffy Sports, which used to be Flying Fluffy Hockey, the #1 Panther podcast in the world. And I told her we have our first sponsor.
Yeah.
And it's Manscaped. So it's so funny. So I don't know. She's and you know me, I have trouble hearing with the crowd and the music and all of that.
Right.
So she's talking about how, women appreciate Manscaped. So anyway, a period ends, and I came up with a brainstorm. Let's get the ladies on to give a testimonial.
Yes.
So here's the video, very impromptu. Unfortunately, the sound, it was too noisy. We couldn't really find a quiet spot to do it.
Right.
But again, it was very spontaneous. So
now, is that something that you do on the regular? Is go to the arena
No.
to find a quiet spot with married women? Because I don't know, man. That sounds kind of sketchy, right? Hey! I know you're married, but come over here, take a video with me.
Great.
That sounds that's perfectly Stu right there. All right.
Yeah.
Here's the clip. I've cleaned it up as best we can. Okay, so before I play the clip, apparently Stu's phone was dying. He didn't charge it on the way to the game. His phone was dying, so he borrowed the phone of one of the young ladies who he was attempting to, shall we say, get with at the game. So I don't know if she's got like a 1960s camcorder. I don't know if this is taken on Super 8, if it's a flip phone. I don't. Maybe Stu, buy her a new phone. If she's not married, buy her a new phone, maybe. And I did the best I could. Okay, just think of Bigfoot footage. All right, you've seen the picture. These are obviously two good-looking young ladies. This is not how they look in real life. That's the best I can tell you, ladies. I'm sorry. I did the best I could to clean it up. The sound is okay, but it's a little fuzzy.
All right, Panther fans, we got a treat for you. We have two lovely ladies that were sitting in front of me. Rachel on the right, Marsha on the left. Say hi to Flying Fluffy Hockey, the #1 Panther podcast in the world. And believe it or not, the subject of Manscaped came up. And I told them about the podcast. I told them about our sponsor. And they had some things to say. So, gotta talk loud now. Why you like Manscaped? All right, so I told them they would be on. They're going to be TV stars tomorrow, and hopefully the Panthers come back. This has probably been the most entertaining part of the night, because the Panthers are really laying an egg. So say hi to 6,100 subscribers. I think we have now 6,102 subscribers, because they're going to subscribe to the channel. All right, have a good night, everybody. All right, fans, we got a treat for you. We have two lovely ladies that were sitting in front. All right, Panther fans, we got a treat for you. We have two lovely ladies that were sitting in front of me. Rachel on the right, Marsha on the left. Say hi to Flying Fluffy Hockey, the #1 Panther podcast in the world. And believe it or not, the subject of Manscaped came up. And I told them about the podcast. I told them about our sponsor. And they had some things to say. So, gotta talk loud now. Why you like Manscaped? All right, so I told them they would be on. They're going to be TV stars tomorrow, and hopefully the Panthers come back. This has probably been the most entertaining part of the night, because the Panthers are really laying an egg. So say hi to 6,100 subscribers. I think we have now 6,102 subscribers, because they're going to subscribe to the channel. All right, have a good night, everybody.
Okay. What do you want me to say? It's really funny that, the ladies are aware of,
Look,
the quality of having.
I think the highlight of that video for us guys was the cupping hand gesture that she used. I felt that. I don't know about you, but I definitely felt that. All right.
Well, I told Greg he's got to use the guide.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's important, guys.
Yeah. Look. If you can't get enough softness without using the guard, you might have bigger problems. Okay. All right.
Maybe
no offense, I don't take that personal. I'm a hairy guy myself. Okay. I'm telling you. All right. I'm like a chia pet. And I can use the guard, and it's just fine. It's just good enough.
Listen,
you know what I mean?
Don't use the guard, and you might end up taking a trip to the emergency room.
Yeah, and don't. Oh, and if you don't use the guard, the toner that's not what that's for. Okay. There's a I don't. Where is my little box? I don't have my little box here, but there's toner. There's ball toner. That's not for if you don't use the guard. You don't then stick the alcohol-based. So I don't know if it's alcohol-based or not.
So listen, if
box
you go to
here. The point is
manscaped.com,
don't use the guard. Yeah.
go to manscaped.com and put the code in Flying Fluffy. You're going to get 20% discount and free shipping. But you're also going to get in the gift box the weed whacker.
Yeah.
The weed whacker for the nose and the ears.
Yeah, I got that right here.
That's a nice little tool there.
I got that right here. All right. It's perfectly shaped. It's like a little squash. It's like a little tiny summer squash. Doesn't make a lot of noise. Doesn't do it. Not a lot of vibrating. You know what I mean? The blades are nice and sharp. No nicking, no cutting, no nothing like that. And it stays charged for forever.
All right, come on. You got the video queued up?
What a mess. What a mess this video was turning out to be. Stu has forgotten that we set the video up 5 minutes ago. And now he's fixing to go on a little, he's doing this shtick all over again. He's literally, this poor guy, he's so perplexed as he's so disheveled and just amused with himself from actually, meeting a couple of nice young ladies at the game. It's got him so shaken that he's forgotten that we already set this bit up once, Brother Stu. What? Now I gotta have two.
Video?
Now
Okay.
I gotta have two cuts in the video. We
All right.
already cut the video in. Did you forget?
All right, so listen, Eric's gonna work on editing the video because it's low res. I don't know why. My phone was dying. My Samsung Galaxy 22. No, they're not a sponsor yet, so no plug intended. But my camera is real sharp. I don't know, Rachel. I don't know with your iPhone. It was just the quality was kind of shaky. But anyway, Eric will fix that. We'll try and get it on the next video. But I just want to say, ladies, I really enjoyed meeting you. We had some fun. Hopefully, we'll see each other again. We'll keep in touch. And so that's the Manscaped story for last night. That was probably the highlight of the night because, in my opinion, no, I won't say it. Let's just say I think we're all realists and know that the mountain is getting higher to climb with losses like this. We can't afford to lose games.
No.
Colorado's the champs, so you know who we're facing. And again, coming off a 5-0 shutout loss, I knew they were going to have freaking steam coming out of their ears. So we got Minnesota coming up. They've been on a downturn. We can't afford to lose to them. They're playing at home. I think they had one game before us, but I don't know what the record was in the last 6-7 games, but it wasn't good.
Right,
so trap game, whatever you want to call it, we got to get back on the horse and just put a string together.
Well, we've got these two on the road, Monday and Tuesday, and now you got to win both games.
We can't have efforts like we had last night. Listen, if the Panthers had brought it for 60 minutes and we just got beat by a better team or whatever, I can accept that. I can't accept not showing up and not playing you know,
Right.
like we can play.
Right.
So that's all I got, man.
It was just so weird at being the last game of the homestand like that. For us to start out that way. I mean, I know Colorado came out flying, but why we didn't, why it took us so long to match their energy, man. And you knew once they got that second goal, even though we came back and tied it. I mean, we got the 2 goals in 65 seconds, and then, we gave it right back to them. So we don't have a whole lot of losses left. Like I said last night, we got maybe 5, 6 more regulation losses. Before it basically becomes not mathematical, but pretty much impossible. Because if we were chasing one team, you could cross your fingers that they were going to tank. But we need like 3 teams to be like mediocre while we go on a crazy run. And that's what I said last night. Last thing I'll say is the problem with last night's not last night. The problem with last night's the first 40 games and the hole we put ourselves into. So that's it. Super Bowl is today. Colin and I'll be around about 6:15. We're going to stream that. Now, I may or may not be kidding. We're trying to get Kyle because the halftime show is I think Rihanna. It's one of these girls I don't know anything about. But the point is that what we're trying to do for the halftime show is turn up the volume and then get Kyle to Michael Jackson dance to Rihanna. He's not game right now. Right now, I don't think it's happening. He wasn't pleased.
Did you get him dessert? That's the most important question.
He's got pizza. He's got ice cream. So as long as he didn't eat all the ice cream last night, he's good to go. All right, we appreciate all the support, and we'll get
Hit
this
the
up and out.
subscribe button.
Yeah, please hit
Rachel,
the subscribe
Marsha,
button.
I'm expecting you to become subscribers like as soon as you see the video. And hit the notification button so you know when these videos are ready to go.
Yep. All right, everyone. Short and sweet this morning. We appreciate the support, and we'll see you again soon.